My name is Dov Nadel Sensei. I am the founder and chief instructor of Sport Combat. Sport Combat is based on actual fighting techniques using very soft weapons to avoid injury. Because we're using the soft weapons, we're able to fight at full speed and full intensity without injuring our opponents. This system of martial arts allows you to employ all the different techniques that you have learned in your martial art training. We have 5 different divisions at this time that we are going to be showing in the series. We have short sword, long sword, staff, 2 swords, and tanto and shield, dagger with an arm shield. Helping me today is Phil Ortiz Sensei from New York, Master Jeff King of Morgan Hill, California, Grant Petnati Sensei of Santa Cruz, California, and Tony Ramirez, also of Santa Cruz. I would like to introduce you to the weapon systems that we use. We have 2 unique styles of weapons, practice and sparring weapons. The practice weapons have a strong PVC core throughout the weapon, making it very durable for years of practice if used properly. The competition weapon has been designed with a 6-inch soft flexible tip, identified by red or blue colors. Also, we have the adult size staff and the youth size staff. The adult size is 6 foot and the youth size is approximately 5 feet. Ends are very soft, just like the sword tips. Though the shaft is padded, there's still a hard piece of PVC in there. For sparring or practicing sparring, you need to wear full protective gear. A chest protector, a helmet with a metal face mask, shin guards, and hand, wrist, and forearm guards. Is if you get hit by your opponent's handle on the knuckles or wrist. All the women and girls who are in competition, we recommend the breast shield. And lastly is our arm shield. These weapons will give you many, many years of very durable service. Now, what I'd like to show you is the proper grip. Sensei's holding, you can see his first finger is up against the tsuba. He is holding it lightly. We control our weapons by squeezing, wringing and squeezing with the little finger to stop the weapon or to make a cut. Always move from your center. Your hips move first, your feet move second, and your hand follows. The basic step is a sliding step. We try to keep our feet on the ground as much as possible. Sometimes we need to do a running attack. And we can leap back if we're being attacked very hard. Leap back. Now we are going to demonstrate basic attack techniques. When you're attacking, doing multiple attacks, you do not want to bend your arm, because if you bend your arm, you leave yourself open. Now we're going into one other style of attack, and that is the thrust. These are the two basic cuts that you can do anywhere on the body that you will score a point. When you're making a cut, a whack or a bang does not count in competition. That type of strike would not count for a point. The weapon must cut through just like a real sword. All the weapons except for the staff must be either pulled through or pushed through. Think of an attack as energy. Energy can always be redirected. You always want to use as little bit of energy as possible to parry, because the idea of sport combat is to cut your opponent. And the more energy you use to make a parry, the less energy you have to make your cuts. The other part is you're going to learn to parry riposte, and that is called a riposte. Left shoulder, head parry, back, right shoulder. Note that Tony is placing the sword directly on his shoulder. If it is off the shoulder, Jeffson can go all the way through and score a point. If it is on the shoulder, it is not possible to score a point. A sequence that I would like you all to practice is left shoulder parry, head parry, right shoulder parry. You need to practice all of these techniques at least 1,000 times before become your allies. Everything needs to be repeated over and over so you get it out of your mind and into your body. The next thing you need to do is to be able to riposte. And we have a little technique here called checking. Tony-san is using a knife hand to push Jeff Sensei's arm out, and then he cuts the arm. Overhead attack, defending right and left torso. So from every parry, you need to have an immediate riposte. Jeff Sensei attacks Tony's left torso. Tony's going to step off line and riposte. Notice the position of Tony-san's sword. He has it up and slightly back when he's parrying so that he is cocked and ready for his riposte. Right torso and riposte. When fighting somebody of equal skill or a higher level of skill, it's not often that you can land your first attempt at attack. You need to think in terms of second and third intention attacks. Here's a little exercise that we do. Okay. Attack high, attack low, cut the middle. Now we're going into technique is skiing or thrusting. Every time that you parry, you are always either stepping back or getting off line. Keep your weapon in line with your opponent. Always keep the correct distance between the partners. Make sure that your feet stay in proper parallel alignment. All the toes are pointing forward. Slide forward, Jeff, retreat. And Jeff, slide forward, and retreat. It is better to do these techniques slowly and accurately than fast and sloppy. The attacker should always strike the opponent's body, not their weapon. All Jeff Sensei has to do, push against the sword, is drop his foot, come over, and he's in. Drills. We start with high, left, right, low. They switch roles. High, left, right, low. Note when Tony-san cuts low, his forward knee is bent, and he's getting his body nice and low. You cannot strike the lower leg standing up straight. Multiple cutting drills, the head, left, right, and back. Tony-san is going to, without bending his arm, attack Jeff-san high, low, and left, and back. You need to practice with your partners over and over so that each attack and each parry comes without fall. Thrust. With the partner then parrying by stepping offline and doing a torso parry. This is the basic techniques for your short sword patch. Then we go to short sword stripe. We've already demonstrated left shoulder, right shoulder parries with a check and a repost. Alternating attack and evasion technique. Both people start in high position. Tony-san will cut Jeff Sensei's leg. He will pull back, come back up. And Jeff Sensei will cut his leg. Pull the leg out of the way. This is a very good technique for developing rapport with your partner. As you become more proficient in it, you can increase the rhythm. The next technique is taken from European fencing. It's called knocking the sword aside, or beat attack. What happens is the attacker moves forward very quickly, knocks the opponent's sword aside, either cuts or thrusts, and runs by the opponent. Another exercise that needs to be practiced many times is right torso attack, left torso attack, and I'm on the third cut, the third intention attack, cutting right torso. Thank you very much. These are the basic longsword techniques. Ringing and squeezing. And this is how we make a cut. As he cuts, he rings and squeezes. Pull it through. Basic positions. We have middle position. We have high position. About a 35-degree angle. Hands are above the head, not in front of the eyes. Low position. All the way down. And you want it up, right over your leg. Because if you're using this position to parry, if you have it off the leg, it's easy for people to penetrate. But if it's touching your body, they cannot go through your parry. Fourth position is side position. This is cross-handed on the left side, and this is how you hold your hand to the right side. This position is then can be changed to middle position, please, from side position to middle position to high position. Notice how he changes his feet to low position. Back to middle position. Side position. High position. Then we have leaping back and running forward. Phil Sensei demonstrates sidestepping, getting off line, and to the other side. These are exercises for practicing footwork. Forward, 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 back, back. Forward, forward, forward. Back, back, forward. Back, back, forward. Forward, forward, forward. Back, back, back. These techniques should be done for about 3 to 5 minutes and with different variations. Cutting low, cutting high, cutting diagonal. Other side diagonal. Horizontal. Horizontal. Now, from side position, cutting under. Reverse diagonal. Low position. Thrusting. From high position. Next exercise that you want to practice is alternating the various fighting positions and making a cut from each one of them. Starting in high position, side position, come back to high position. Starting in high position, come back to side position, come back to high position. The other way to score is with a thrust. And the rules for thrusting is the tip must bend and you must pull it out. And it's got to bend quite a bit. If it bends just a little bit, that will not score a point. It needs to bend and be pulled out in one motion and back. That's 1 point. There are different kinds of cuts. You can cut to the sides of the head. You can do a diagonal or pesa cut, which starts at the shoulder and cuts through to the hip. You can do a reverse diagonal cut that starts at the hip and comes out at the shoulder. You can do a horizontal cut to anywhere on the bottom. And you can also do a cut to the wrists and hands. And you can also do a cut to the lower leg. sword is just using one-handed technique. Now he'll do it from the side position. Now we're going to see exactly the same thing again, but this time parry and riposte. First, 3 high parries. Torso parries. Low parry. One more time. Now we are going to practice these parries as an exercise. The attacker always steps forward, and the defender always steps back. High, torso, step back. Please practice this exercise where Phil Sensei is going to attack high, mid, and low positions, and then the partners would reverse. Do 5 to 10 times, and then we change roles. Next, we want to practice with riposte at the end. Attacking mid, attacking low. And then we would reverse roles. High, mid, one more time. Straight up. Phil Sensei will now demonstrate single hand thrusts. It is very important that you train with both hands to be able to utilize all available strategies. It is very important that you two-handed thrust, a right-handed thrust, and a left-handed thrust. Thus you can take advantage of any movement and any opening your opponent offers you. The next technique we're going to work on is spinning high block and riposte. How he steps offline, let's go through that slowly, and brings the sword completely around his head and cuts Phil Sensei on the neck and shoulders. This is the right hand technique. Cutting from swinging around the head from the right. One more time. And And now let's demonstrate the left hand technique. And swinging around the head from the left. The left hand technique, the wrists are crossed. One more time, please. This is a good exercise to perfect your overhead spinning repost. Drawing your opponent in to your sphere of power. You offer up part of your body as an invitation. One more time. Jeff Sensei is offering Tony-san his shoulder and his forearm. As Tony-san attacks, Jeff Sensei is going to release his right hand, sidestep, offline, and cut Tony-san with his left hand. Now we're going to demonstrate reinforced parries. Reinforced parries are useful when you're fighting against a larger weapon, like staff against a sword, or you have an opponent who's exceptionally strong and has very powerful attacks. High parry, left parry, right parry, low parry, middle position. Now I'm going to have Tony-san strike at me in the same sequence, and I'm going to do a reinforced parry and repost. To practice the reinforced parry, have your partner attack you high, mid, right, then mid, left, then low, in sequence. Practice these 10 to 15 times each. In this tape, we have reviewed and learned techniques for short sword and for long sword. These techniques build on each other, and they are applicable with all the other soft weapons that you're going to be training with. In sport combat, everything works from the basics. Having a strong cut or strong thrust and strong parries. Remembering to move back and forth, just like a wave crashing. The wave crashing in is the attack, and the tide going out is the parry. Always move offline when you're parrying or stepping back. Keep the space between you and your opponent. Do not wait for your opponent's attack. Feel what they're going to do. Learn to react before they can. As you practice, you will start to sense what people's intention is. Remember to keep focused. Always pay attention. Awareness is your best tool to becoming victorious in a match.
Thank you for watching our video. We hope that you find it informative as well as entertaining. This video was brought to you by TC Media, who also publish Kung Fu Qigong magazine and kungfumagazine.com. These publications, as well as our vast video library, are just a portion of our offerings to you in the wide world of martial arts. Please take a brief moment to review our extensive collections of other products for the martial arts. Through our product fulfillment center, Martial Arts Mart, we bring you a complete selection of the highest quality products for the martial arts at affordable prices. We also offer valuable discounts and rapid delivery service by the most knowledgeable sales representatives. To receive a free catalog for yourself or your friends, please call us toll-free at 1-800-824-2433 or check out our online store at www.martialartsmart.com. Act now.